Hey guys, we're back after a long hiatus. Well, a couple months, whatever. I've been lazy. But we get back on this. So last time we got our asses kicked. It's mostly my fault for sucking. Yeah, let's talk to this guy. Alright, it's not gonna matter what I do. Alright, Alright. 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 Alright, he's a fucking bitch. Alright, yeah. Alright. 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 Yep. Well, he did scream security, so. And he just vanished. That's what going to the closet does. It makes you fade out of existence. Alright. Now I gotta figure out. If I knew I'd only... You know, going into this, I was thinking to myself, you know, like I'm melee, Guy Chu's melee, and then we got Is0bel's, who's not exactly a powerhouse. In retrospect, I wish I had, like... If I knew... I don't understand why I can only bring 3 people, because it seems like I should be able to bring more. But whatever. Everything's shit cover. There's no good cover. You know what? Have her go to the back. This is increased by 5. I don't understand why there's a wall here. It seems odd to me. But... You got a nade launcher. Fuck. Alright, okay, that could have gone worse, considering I missed. Alright. If I can kill this conjurer, I can get the... Alright. Metal stance. The metal stance is the one that... You die by one. I think the... It could be me, but I think the metal stance is just better than the other ones. Alright, both critical chance and critical multiplier raise, however your dodge is reduced by... Yeah. I mean, not all. Okay. Wait, that knocked him right... Alright. Doing a little better. I think I did jinx it. Fuck. Do metal stance. Yep. Please hit. Okay, I do have a medikit. Yeah, you might have to be on medic duty. Again. Fuck. Okay. Save just in case. Alright. Could have thought I was in bad shape. Or I guess I was just a fucking idiot last time. Right. Alright, is there anything else to do? Nope. Yep, that's it. Confirm. The bus trip back to Kai Tak is quieter than the ride-in was. Your fellow passengers sit crumpled in their seats, barely moving, barely speaking. Their DECCON 2056 t-shirts hang loose on their frames, and their once-cherished guest badges have been crumpled into their pockets. You've seen more lively groups on their way to the morgue. Is0bel looks up at you, her eyes full of the same post-con fatigue that you see in everyone else as she gives you a small smile and taps her temple with a fingernail. You've got what you came for. The show is over. It's time to go home. Alright. Alright. Yep, there we go. Game's loading in slow. Yeah. Completed. Okay. And people leveled up. Poison fog. That's pretty good. Shrine spirits summoned by Goblet are now present for an additional turn before dispelling themselves for a total of 3 rounds. Spell. Alright. Sabotage. Is0bel's mini launcher is now packed with napalm charges, igniting damaged targets. Targets on fire will take an additional 6 HP damage. That sounds pretty good. Espionage boost program. Is0bel gains the dual routine boost program, which causes persona speed which increases persona speed while sneaking in the matrix by 40%. It does not exactly other boost programs. Yeah, this sounds better. And gain item nail grenade. Duncan's standard equipment now includes a lethal shrapnel-filled grenade, base damage 12, ongoing 4 damage for 2 rounds, strips 1 armor from affected targets. Duncan's standard equipment now includes a larger AoE, increases on directions. I think I've decided that AP damage is just the way to go. Gaichu. Gaichu gains a katana ability, 100 plus 100. I read about this. This thing is so fucking cool, but can only attack stun targets. Cost 2 AP, cooldown 3. Gaichu takes a bite out of his foe, restoring 8 HP over 2 rounds, gaining 1 strength through the consumption of their flesh, plus 2 damage, plus 1 AP damage. On the other hand, healing yourself is actually pretty powerful. Are there other abilities that allow me to heal myself? Okay. There is one ability. It's cool. It's not as good. This looks like it's just better. Metal stand. Okay, so it's even better now. So yeah, coup de grace. It's just better now. Man, he would have fit in so much better at the con than Gaiju would, because he knows tech and shit. Nectar's toolkit overclock ability now gives the target drone plus 2 AP and plus. That's pretty good. Pair ability. Alright. Alright, yeah, I'll just. Alright. Quickness 2. Yeah, there's one totem that I think would make me more powerful. Maybe one or two totems I could choose. And I won't even really fuck with spirit summoning. I mean, I might a little while I'm here, but, you know. Data. Yeah, I don't think there's really a whole lot of in-between shit. Do I have... Actually... Can I pick up, like, money or something and augment myself? Okay, here we go. You enter the draw to find your crew gathered together waiting for you. Isabella has her head buried in her PDA. The rest of them stand watching her, trying to be patient. Tell the class. Move paces up and back, trying to decide how to begin. I've been doing my homework on Josephine's song and song mechanical services. Your pacing tells me you found something. Found something. Oh yeah, I found something, alright. Is0bel lifts her PDA to her face and consults her notes. In 2011, Song Mechanical Services was a D-level corp, floundering in the shallow end of the Hong Kong corporate pool. That's when Josephine Shui married into the family Josephine thought big. She conceived of a massive project that would catapult TMS into the big time, something she called the Prosperity Project. Prosperity, that's what Raymond was mumbling about. What is the Prosperity Project? Once upon a time in the 1900s, the walled city was a densely populated slum, something like 30,000 people crammed into 6.5 acres. Wait, I've heard this story before. It's a shithole, hell on earth, yada yada yada. That's today's walled city, the second walled city. The first walled city started life well over 100 years ago and lasted through both world wars and almost through to the Awakening. It was torn down in 1994 when the government had finally had enough. It had become such a haven for criminals that the cops would only enter it in large, well-armed groups. Sounds familiar. In 2021, Josephine Song proposed a vision for a new type of low-income housing project, the Prosperity Project, a self-contained, low-cost walking neighborhood for the poor. Walking neighborhood, but on a grand scale. The Prosperity Project would give Hong Kong's poor and the flood refugees pouring into the country a place they could call their own, something that felt more permanent than the sprawling tent city that spontaneously sprang up after the first walled city was demolished. Prosperity Project will replace the tent city and would be symbolically built on the site of the old walled city. The slogan was a place of dignity where prosperity begins. It doesn't sound at all like what it is. The apartments weren't much bigger than the space you get in your average coffin motel, but they were built around plazas and marketplaces that contained goods and services catering to the poor. The government forgot the lessons of the last walled city. They loved the idea of containing the refugees and the poor to only a few densely populated blocks. It kept them out of the public eye. Securing the contract catapulted Song Mechanical Services' fortunes ahead. It eventually put Josephine Song into the executive council. Made her rich. One slum made her rich. It's a very big slum. Apparently that was also the beginning of a series of lucrative building contracts that propelled TMS into the big time. She's gonna get to that, dude. Where's Raymond come into all of this? Raymond Black doesn't come into it at all, but Edward Song does. Alright? Is Raymond Black Edward Song? You got it. That goes draw drops. What? No, come on. Raymond Black was actually Edward Song, the only son of Josephine Song and her late husband, Breakwater Song. Edward was in charge of laying the groundwork for the walled city, excavation and utilities, running in power lines, sewage, that kind of thing. So our secret fuzzer grandmother is trying to kill us. Huh? Came from... Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Remember that massive grave water leak that flooded the basement back in 48? When we got back from that camping trip in the Salish, Ray screamed bloody murder about that. Ooh, not smiling. I've never seen him so angry. He sobers. But did Raymond know how to fix it? No. Ray didn't know the first thing about sewer lines. He hired a small army of plumbers, probably paid him double what the job was worth to fix the thing, and it still took almost 2 months to get the leak under control. Look at that. And just we put him in charge of the utilities. No wonder the walled city smells like that. I don't think Raymond had anything to do with the utilities in the walled city. So if this man was not in charge of the utilities for the project, what was he doing down there? I don't know, but Edward Song disappeared from the public eye shortly after Prosperity was completed, around 2031. That's about the time he moved to Seattle, around 7 years before he found us. But what happened in the walled city? We don't know that yet. And what would make Raymond want to go back in there and after all these years? No, but I tend to find out. Okay. Do I have any money from the mission computer? Alright, 150, that's not nothing. I was able to cut off the proprietary bits of the files we recovered that work of Union, but there were a lot of junk data none of the buyers wanted. I've decided to archive the leftover paperwork, requisition orders, etc. Nothing special, but I figured I'd keep it on hand, Is0bel. Do I have any? No, I don't. Kylie Chang. I'm not in Hayor right now, so don't bother coming to see me. We'll talk when I return. Please continue with our business ventures in the meantime, LTC. Data retrieval. From Kylie Chang to Shik. Subject data retrieval. I hope you've enjoyed your newfound success in the shadows. I've got another job for you. One that should prove very lucrative indeed. I've been contacted by an employee of the Eastern Tiger Corporation. He needs you to steal some research data and biological samples from his employer. The man's name is Tygath Wright. Until recently, he was a researcher on a genetic engineering project. He was cagey with the details, but I gather that it's centered around phenotypic alteration and postnatal genetic enhancement. Unfortunately for Wright, he's got a conscience, stupid man. Lucky for us, he's willing to pay to have his conscience assuaged. Wright's project was apparently quite horrible. Experiments on living children, total disregard for biomedical ethics or safety, and when Wright raised concerns, he was taken off the project. He's decided to step outside the bounds of the law and expose their wrongdoing to the world. The snag, you see, is that his wife and child live in Seoul, or Seoul. What is up with Korean words and putting, like, silent E's in front of the O when they write it in, like, when they, like, write it with, like, the Latin alphabet? I don't know. Not quite the heart of Eastern Tiger's power, but close enough. Except my brain doesn't like silent letters. I guess not, but whatever. He's afraid that if he releases the information himself, they'll be taken prisoner and used as leverage. Theo should have thought of that before, but that's not our problem. The samples and data are currently on an Eastern Tiger cargo ship, the MV Naichi, sailing near Hong Kong on their way to Seoul. The storm slowed the ship down, so you don't have to go right away, but don't take too long. Once you have the data and samples, you're to call Wright. I've attached his number. He'll give you instructions on how he wants the information leaked. When you're ready, let me know. I'll arrange transit with Captain Jomo. He's a local Lohojoa pirate and smuggler. But don't let that put you off. He's as good as they get, and he'll have you on that ship without incident. Take the run. I'm just taking every run. Let Captain Jomo know you're ready. You can find him down on the end of the pier. My parlor is on. He'll handle everything from there on out. Just gonna chat with everybody. That's my bunk. See if we can talk about DECCON or anything. Turns away from the octopus main display. She looks at you blinking. The memory stick that you acquired from Rhombus has already been slotted into one of the computer's many expansion ports. The cherry red plastic that sheathes the stick looks slid and wet in the light. You did good back there. That run went well. Rise flit down to the memory card. We've got the stick, the key to my old memories. All I have to do now is slot it. Last run. Yeah, of course I've got thus. It was my run, right? She paused for a moment, and thank you for coming with me. Don't mention it was fun. I don't know if I'd call it that. We got what we came for. That's something. What else you wanted to know? Memories yet? No, not yet. I mean, I can. It'd be as simple as plugging myself in and tapping a key. My old memories are all mine if I want them. So what are we waiting for? But you're not sure that you want them. She nods. That's about the shape of it. I'm feeling hesitant about this. I mean, that makes sense. You locked them away for a reason. It isn't easy, you know, shifting organic memories into headwear storage, wiping the originals, and locking them away for safekeeping. That's corporate level mind sculpting, serious business. Got that. Very important. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have let an amateur tinker with my brain in the corner of a derelict shopping mall. Whatever I've got up there, I was desperate to get rid of it. It makes a girl wonder why. Wipe the memories altogether. Would have been easier. She blinks. Yes, much easier. Still not without risk, but you didn't do that. You had him move the memories into storage. Why? There's a long pause. Because I knew that one day I might need them. That you tell me, alright? The day is that day. We need information on the walled city. We're way up there. So why are we even talking about this? You've made this decision twice already. Once when you had the memories moved into storage. Alright. About that you tell me. You know, it's like it's her memories, so I'm gonna respect her on that. You're wrong about that, you tell me. No, damn it, of course I wasn't. But you don't have to be so glib about it, alright? Another long pause as Bill stares at her feet, thinking. Finally, she looks back up at you. You're right, I know that. I knew it before we went to get the code. I just needed to talk through it with someone, not Gobbett, someone who could take the situation seriously. I needed to talk through it with you. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Alright. Without another word, she pulls a cable from a pile on the floor and slots it into her data jack. The other end disappears into one of the octopus's many brains. Her fingers fly across the octopus's keyboard, rattling off a series of audible clicks. Finally, her thumb hovers over the executive key. Alright, Schick, wish me luck. The key depresses with an audible click. Is0bel's eyes flutter and her cheeks flush with blood. Oh, no. She starts shaking her head from side to side, wringing her hands. A progress bar on the octopus's auxiliary monitor slowly clumps. Oh, fuck. Are you okay? The progress bar climbs to 100%. Is0bel snatches the cable back out of her data jack and covers her eyes with her hands. She's shivering. She clutches her temple in the palms of her hands. Now I remember why I didn't want these anymore. Yeah. Maybe I'll try and be encouraging to him. Not like this, I can't. These are years of bad memories. I'll let out of the box at once. It's overwhelming and it's horrible and I want to stop. I can remember things that happened to friends of mine, to relatives, things that I watched happen. No. I believe it. I'll believe it. Naruto. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yes, I can, but this is harder than you'd think. Her voice is ragged raw. These memories are crystal clear. It's like all of this shit happened yesterday. I can remember watching friends die, and I could see their screaming faces, just as clear as I did the day that it happened. It's like watching a Trid show, but it's my life, and it's real. Help us. Focus. That can help us. She screws her eyes shut in concentration, beads of sweat hang heavy on her brow. I think so, yes. It'll take time for me to sift through all of this. Yeah, she'll probably she just fucking needs therapy, man. With all the Shadowrun money, we could probably hire a fucking therapist. I don't know. She opens her eyes again, looks up at you. I'll hold on to these memories for as long as I can. Hopefully not long enough to reveal something useful. Hopefully long enough. Or I was just beyond that, though. Thank you, Is0bel. Don't thank me yet. I can still crack in a half hour and lock away the file. She gives you a weak ass smile. I gotta do my best not to, though. One thing that does jump out at me, Rumpus archives some software up here. She taps her temple with a fingernail. It's sitting on top of the memories, all wrapped up like a present. Don't know why he did it, but it looks like a combat pack. Alright, she's gonna get an upgrade. Combat package, you say? She nods weakly, some sort of basic attack modification. I'll have to study to be sure, but I think I can use it. That's some good news. Yeah, it's all very exciting, but for now, just give me some space, okay? She turns away shivering. Like I said, it's going to take time for me to make sense of this stuff. Then. Good, go. Now. All right. All right, Gabbett. As you enter Gobbett's cabin, two things grab your attention. The first is Gobbett herself. She looks exhausted, bleary-eyed. The easy smile that you've come to associate with her is nowhere to be seen. The second is what she's doing. Gobbett appears to be in the middle of a valiant attempt to stuff a whole roasted duck into a saucepan half its size. The bird's rubbery neck flops from side to side with every heave of her shoulders. She looks up from the saucepan, blinking. A corner of her mouth twitches upward, but the half-smile falls away almost immediately. Oh, hey, Seattle. Caught me at a bad time. I was just making dinner. Watching the struggle. Looks like the duck is winning. Huh? She blinks out at the duck, and her mouth dips into a frown. Oh, it isn't winning. It's just being stubborn. I'll make it fit, don't you worry. She gives the bird another heave. Something gives away with an audible crunch. Yep. This would be easier with a bigger pot. I'd have to wash it first, though. She glances down at the pile of dirty clothes and assorted detritus on the floor of her cabin, frowning. And to do that, I'd have to find it. She's worse than me. Anyway, you want something? I'm up to my elbows in mallard. You feeling okay? You don't look well. She rubs the bridge of her nose with a pair of greasy fingers, leaving smudges of duck fat behind. It's weird. Ever since our last lesson, I felt, I don't know, preoccupied with the sinking ship. I don't really do the whole haunted by the demons of my past thing. I mean, that's fine for some people, but I'm allergic to drama. Generally, when thoughts of the past get me down, I remind myself that it doesn't matter, laugh it off, and go have a snack. But this, I don't know, it's weird. Ever since our last lesson, I've been able to get this sinking ship out of my mind. And we're gonna get a companion side quest, alright? She looks down at the pot full of mangled duck on the corner, closes her eyes. I guess I'm just worried about Cat and Mal, which is weird, because why would I be? I mean, I haven't even spoken to them in years. Hell, if anything, they should be worried about me. I'm the one who gets shot at for a living. Maybe we should go check it out. This sinking ship isn't far, is it? No, I don't want to do that. At least not without a good reason. It'd be awkward, and I'm sure that it's nothing anyway. Actually, check that. I know what this is. It's my own personal version of the same thing that we're all feeling. The psychic sewage that's being dredged up in all of us by whatever's happening in the walled city. I'm sure that you've had some flashes of memory from the Barrens and your bad dreams, right? Images from your past come back to haunt you. But you aren't going to drop everything and go running back there because that would be dumb. So tell me, why should I? 15 minutes from here. You can hurt to check. Look, I don't want to go back there if I don't have to. If thinking about the place is enough to mess with me like this, I don't want to know what being there will do. But I'll tell you what. I'll drop Malvina a line just to check in. Make sure that this is a me problem and not a them problem. And if there is something going on, I promise you'll be the first to know. I'll play it? It is. Now, was there anything else that you wanted, or can I get back to my duck? I think that last run. You didn't bring me on the last run, so no, I don't have it to say. Have a night off, I guess. Alright. Be fine, you'll see. If there is anything fishy happening on the sinking ship, you and Is will be the first to know, I promise. You find Wu sitting on his bed and staring at the floor. When you come to his cabin, he rubs his head up and back, occasionally stopping to softly bounce his palm against his forehead. When he notices you, he closes his eyes and shakes his head. Not in the mood to talk right now. I gotta wrap my brain around this Edward song thing. Who he thought he was. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. 16 years. We lived with him 16 years and we never knew the man. 16 motherfucking years. Just gotta think, work through this. All right. Ractor had... Alright, yes. Gaiju dips his head in a greeting as you enter. Hello again, how may I help you? Any thoughts about that last run? The entire cultural phenomenon of conventions, particularly those open to the public, eludes me. Why you brought me, I have no idea. I could tell you far more about gardening, drones, or even Gobbet's dubious cooking than I could about decking. Huh. Even so, there was something fascinating about it from an anthropological point of view. That's why I like Gaiju's. Yeah. For instance, the spat between Is0bel and Rhombus. Not only were they squabbling like fussy children, the entire squabble began because of unsolicited advice, and for this, Is0bel killed his cat? I may devour human flesh, my friend, but even I am not that kind of monster. Deckers are strange people, and I'm glad not to be one. Anything else I can do for you? Alright, see you later, Gaiju. I feel like if I sleep, I'll dream again, but the game sort of wants me to do that, so... You wake with a start, your limbs bound Up in a sweaty tangle of linen bedsheets, an incredible sorrow swells in your chest. You feel empty, half-starved, and alone. Fragmentary memories of a half-remembered dream flit through your mind. They're already fading away to nothing. Chase the memories. And close your eyes and concentrate, willing yourself to keep the dream from slipping away. Gradually, the memory comes back to you. The walled city, you are back in the walled city. You don't remember how you got there, but it couldn't have been any place else. Even the barrens weren't so squalid. You remember craning your neck to look above you. The buildings that made up this part of the walled city were now construction, even cheaper than the old. The buildings that made up were new construction. Now their foundations had rotted out from under them, and the buildings leaned into one another like a gang of drunken men. A rain of plaster and asbestos sprinkled down, dusting your shoulders. You began to creep forward, picking your way past the piles of refuse and debris, past the pimps and the dumpster fires, the broken glass and dirty needles. The air reeked of rot and sewage and industrial waste, a disgusting melange that caught in your sinuses and crawled under your throat. You gagged on the stink, but it didn't slow you down. In the back of your mind, you knew that you had no reason to be doing this. There was nothing for you in the walled city. You shouldn't have been here. But the rest of you was hungry, unbearably, indescribably hungry, and that part of you knew that if you keep moving, you eventually get to eat. You finally get to eat. As you forged your way deeper into the walled city, locals stood at their windows and stared. Inexplicably, some of them dropped to their knees. You kept moving. You could see something in the distance, a silhouette, something enormous, at least twice the size of a troll, but delicate. It was beautiful. The huge fire beckoned you. The huge figure beckoned you, gesturing with slender limb. An explosion of warmth filled your chest, and you knew that if you could only reach it, your problems would be over. She would make all your sorrows disappear. You moved forward at a crawl, but the figure felt impossibly far away. You reached out, calling to her, and then you woke up. The empty feeling in your stomach slowly fades, taking the strength and vibrance of the memories along with it. Okay. Maybe I will finally pick a totem. Alright. Gov to 0% within 3 tiles. Hates all 3 allies within 3 tiles with damage reduction of 3. That's not bad. Okay. There's it by 10%. Eagle. Grants a personal passive benefit of +1 damage and +5% accuracy for all attacks made by the shaman. This is one. The other... this one. Leopard, yes. +1 movement, +1 armor. Stop sneezing. Alright. And I think I will confirm. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I don't have any money for anything. Except this, but I don't already over specializing it as is. Or over generalizing, I guess. Alright. I think I've done this long enough. Alright, till next time.